And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's your favorite homegirl, E. Reed, your favorite host who loves to smile the most. I'm back, y'all. And you know what? I want y'all to sit back, relax, turn it up, and check this out. And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. It's your favorite homegirl, E. Reed. I'm back with another Reality Radio episode presents Binge and Rewind. And that's right. I am going to talk to y'all today about Power on Stars because it is one of the most talked about, anticipated shows of the year from last year leading into 2020. So as far as I'm concerned, Power went out with a bang, okay? Or fire. I'm going to explain to y'all why that's so funny to me in a minute. But I have to say that I do appreciate the poetic justice that Courtney and her team has written into the show. And I just appreciate the little bit of comedy they put in there. Like, 50, thank you so much for producing this show and giving us, a great series for the past 6 seasons. Like, everybody who was a part of the production of Power, thank you. Okay, I don't think I've been that in tune with a show since Wire and since Oz. And Wire and Oz are both on HBO. So as far as Stars goes, y'all did that for them. Power is the Oz and Wire for Stars. Okay, that's what Power is for Stars. All right. But now, let me get into why I'm even doing this recap and review for Binge and Rewind. For Binge and Rewind for Power. Because tonight's episode, mind you, the character we love to hate other than Tyreek is who? None other than Dre. Okay, so tonight's episode was all about Dre, and I know some people on Twitter was going a little bit bonkers about it because it's like, well, what happened to Ghost? Why are we having a whole episode about Dre? Blah, blah, blah. So if you do watch Power, and I strongly advise you to watch Power Confidential so that you can get a little bit more insight on why some episodes are done the way that they are done. It's basically a BTS, a behind the scenes of the shows and the characters and the writers and of course the creator Courtney to be able to do all of that. Okay, so definitely check it out. It's called Power Confidential, and it airs right after Power, or it's supposed to air, but either way it go, if you own the app or you got cable, which means you got on demand, you already seen it anyway because it comes on early anyway. Excuse me, needless to say, let me move forward. Okay, so the whole episode is about Dre, and it's coming. So based on the last episode, if y'all remember, the last episode was all about Ghost and his plan to make it to the top, and all the power moves he was making in the last episode, right? And then we know at the end somebody shoots Ghost, and we see Ghost falling off the balcony over there at his club Truth. Now, this episode is from Dre's perspective, so that's why we see a lot of Dre in here. All right. So the whole episode is coming from Dre's perspective in similar interactions he had that we saw in the past episodes, but it's all leading up to the night where Ghost gets shot. Okay. So a lot of people, of course, thought that, Dre is a natural suspect. You know what I mean? He's a usual suspect, especially after the way that Ghost was talking to him and talking at him and treats him and everything like that. So with that being said, it was just a matter of time that Dre would end up getting getting caught up to pull up on Ghost. I'm getting beside myself because I'm just super excited because I love Power. And I think my adrenaline is still rushing, and I wanted to talk to y'all so bad about the show. Okay. So, it shows Dre going through the motions of dealing with His mother, we get to see his mother. We see him interacting with his baby mama, and his baby mama is telling him, like, we just need to get up and go. We need to just get up out of here. And he's like, well, I got plans. I done made a plan. We don't gotta leave. She like, let's go to Vegas. He like, we need to stay in New York. I could be a kingpin, basically, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, as soon as he says all of this, like he got a plan and everything, what does he see on the news? He sees that Ghost is about to run for lieutenant governor on the ticket with that lady Walsh. So he's like, oh my God, like my plan isn't going to work, blah, 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 right? And so now he's just trying to get some money so he can get up out of Dodge. So he goes see Sax. Sax tells him like, look, bruh, ain't nothing I can do. Besides, you the one that snitched on me to the feds, which means I ain't got no more power. You know what I mean? So Dre stepped on his foot when it came to that. So then after he can't get no help from Sax, he goes and he talks to, oh my God, who did he talk to next? He went to go talk to Tasha, and he tells Tasha, you know, you need to give me $50,000 or I'm going to tell the feds about your son and his little drug empire or whatever. And she like, you not going to say nothing because you the one that gave him the brick. And he's like, well, he said, but I got the brick from your husband. So, of course, she like got this boo-boo look on her face, like, oh my God, jaw dropping. So, of course, she calls, Tyreek, and then she tells Tyreek to meet up with Dre to give him some money. So Dre meets up with Tyreek. Tyreek was only giving him $10K, and he said, I'll give you the rest later, but I also give you a bonus if you give me a piece. And so Dre like, what you need a piece for? And of course Tyreek like, I don't need to tell you all that. I ain't finna tell you nothing. So they said they part their little meeting or whatever, and then he got the 10K, and then there was a part in there. I skipped a part. There was a part after he met up with his baby mama and talking to her. And I think after he met up with Sax, he ended up in a shootout with the Siberians, because remember, Ghost set Dre up to take the fall for murdering Jason. Right? So now Jason people came after Dre. Dre and his homies had a shootout with the Siberians. I think I'm saying that right. Lord, I hope I'm saying that right. But no disrespect. And so he has a shootout with them. So anyway, fast forward, going back to where I was before I forgot that little detail of him doing the shootout. So after he ends up meeting with his mama. His mama's a church-going lady, and she was just wondering, like, I ain't heard from you in years. Like, you got out of jail. I ain't never, we ain't ever made contact, and here you is coming to ask me for some money. Because, now he had his wits end. He ain't got no money. He don't know what to do. So he go to his mama in hopes that she'll give him some money so they can bounce. Him, the baby mama and his daughter Heaven can bounce. And so the mama like, nah, you ain't finna come around me and ask me for no money, and I ain't seen you, blah, 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 blah. So then she bounced. Now, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. The whole time he was talking to his mama outside the church, I was so scared that somebody was finna pull up and start busting. And him and his mama was gonna die right there. I'm telling y'all, because I didn't know how the episode was going. You know what I'm saying? But that right there kind of had me on edge. So then after he sees his mama, who does he go see? I'm trying to remember, because I just got through watching it. And usually when I do the reviews, I watch them twice, and then I take notes. But this time I didn't do that. I'm doing all this off the cuff, off my memory. So, and it might be a little out of order, but that's all right, because you're going to watch the episode anyway. So you're going to follow me in what I'm saying, because you would have already known what happened. So, you know what I'm saying? We just sitting up here chopping it up about it, like home friend, like, I'm saying home friends. I'm trying to say home girls and home boys do. Because, I'm your favorite home girl that loves to smile the most. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying. So we just here chopping it up, talking about power. Anyway, so then we move on to after he sees his mama, he ends up going to, he's supposed to meet up with Ghost. So after he meets up with Dre, I take that back. Him and what's his name, Tyreek, didn't leave each other, because Tyreek ends up taking him over to see Ghost, which is in that last episode where we saw Ghost talking crazy to Dre, and he walked in with Tyreek, and Ghost told Tyreek to go wait outside and wait for Dre. So it was in that scene. So just before they went to Ghost, Tariq was giving Dre 10K and asking him to get him a gun. Okay. So he tells Ghost, I want you to give me 200. I want you to give me some money so I can get up out of here. I want $250,000. Otherwise, I'm finna go to the Fed. So basically, I'm a snitch. He telling everybody who he begging for money for, I'm a snitch unless you give me some money. So what Ghost does, Ghost is like, okay, well, I need to go get it because I got 250 that I can give you right now, but I need to go get it. Give me an hour. So he's waiting. He calls his baby mama. He tells his baby mama, like, everything finna go down. We finna get up out of here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Police roll up where he's supposed to go meet Ghost. Ghost parked in his truck down the street watching the whole thing go down. Police come. Of course, they arrest him for Jason. Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. So they arrest him, for the murder of Jason. And he gets up in the jail. Well, next thing you know, remember in last episode when Spanky and 2-Bit was in jail and they ended up getting a burner. And they didn't know where the burner came from. Well, the burner actually came from Ghost. Ghost is the one that called the phone, and that's who 2-Bit was talking to. And 2-Bit and Ghost was talking about putting a hit out on Dre. Okay, so the fact that he's, because he put him in there. So he like, all right, I'm going to do this. Y'all go ahead. Y'all take care of Dre. Make sure this is his last day. And then I'm going to take care of y'all families while y'all do the bids. And then 2-Bit like, I think he dropped a dime on us anyway. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And of course, he's been trying to get him since season 5. So it was just like, whatever. So 2-Bit like, yeah, we'll do it. So when there comes an opportunity, when Dre is in Gym Pop and you got 2-Bit and Spanky on each ends of the room, of the space, and next thing you know, you just see Dre like get a little spook in his boots or whatever, right? But then he gets called out to go talk to the Rodriguez. So when he goes to talk to Rodriguez, she basically coerced him to saying how he saw Ghost killed Terry Silver, right? She coaches him into that, right? So then because Dre does that, he's able to get out. So Dre ends up getting out. Now at this moment, this is where you got 2-Bit and Spank talking, and 2-Bit like, dang, we missed our chance. You know what I'm saying? And 2-Bit made this little comment like, you gotta think positive. You gotta think positive. Positive thinking gives you positive results. And so next, as he's saying that, they see Dre walking out. So then 2-Bit like, man, really, he don't look like he coming back anytime soon. So pause right there. Put a pin in it. Okay. So then you got Dre going out. Dre ends up going to he go to his mom's place, right? And he tries to rob his mom. This part was really scary. So he goes in and he tries to rob his mama, and it sounds like he sleep because he knew where the key was in the back, to get into her house. Because, some people always got a hidden key or something. So he knew where the key was hidden at. So he went in her house. He tried to be quiet, but of course she know her house and she know somebody in her house. She acting like she sleep. He go in her closet, go in her jewelry box, pick up the jewelry box. She pulls out a gun and she takes off the release, right? The safety. And she pulls the gun out on her son, Dre. So they having this whole little one-on-one moment, father-mother conversation that went real deep. And apparently, she was, verbally abusive to him to the point where, verbally abusive to him to where she was calling him a demon and all this other kind of stuff. Whereas, according to the lead, the creator, Courtney, she said that she wanted to show that there was a different type of evil. Like, there's an evil that we see in your face, which is Dre, but then there's another kind of evil where you got someone just feeding you negative stuff into your psyche. So the more, like they say, you should always tell a child you love them and encourage them and say positive things so they can think positively, because that plays into their psyche. So he says when he's talking to his mama, you've been talking crazy to me since I was 6 years old. So what did you think I was going to turn out to be, kind of a thing, right? So And of course, she probably thinks she being a Christian, godly woman herself, she probably really thinks she talking to a demon. You know what I'm saying? Because some people who are really into that life, they look at everybody as spirits. They don't look at people like people. Okay, like the flesh. They look at people like that is the flesh, but I'm talking to the spirit in the person. And so I feel like he was talking to her in the flesh, but she was talking to him in the spiritual, which is why she was saying you still a demon and all this kind of stuff, right? And so he ends up taking the gun from his mama and points it back at her. Oh my God, like I just stopped breathing and was holding my breath. Like, is this fool finna shoot his mama in the face? In the face. Is he finna shoot her in the face? But no, he doesn't end up shooting her in the face, as we all see. And he ends up leaving the house altogether. So thank goodness she ends up still being alive, and she comes in handy later in the episode. So he ends up leaving his mom's house, goes back to his baby mama. He goes over to Tate, okay? Meets up with Tate. Tate offers him, because he had already went to Tate earlier and asked Tate to help him out with a new identity and stuff. And so Tate was like, cool, I got you. And so when he came back to get everything, Tate was like, I'm going to give you this $100,000 if you go kill Ghost. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going I'm going to give you all this money. And I know you going to come back because you need this. Because everything that he had given him for a new identity, he kept a copy of it. So if Dre don't follow through on killing Ghost, so Ghost doesn't announce being able to run for governor the next day, because Tate hating him for that, then Tate is gonna snitch on Dre and call him out so the police can be looking for him with his new identity. So Tate gives Dre the money. Dre take the money. He go back to the car. So he get a money to his baby mama. They got $100,000. Okay, mind you, he already had $10,000 from Tyreek. He collected now $100,000 from Tate. And so now he can get up out of Dodge, right? You would think with all this going on, he would get up and go. But because of who Dre is, he decides not to. And so Dre ends up looking like he's finna drive out of town, and then turns right back around and goes over to Truth. He goes into Truth. He walks inside with the gun, pulls it, cocks it back, everything. Goes inside. As soon as he gets inside and turns the corner, he don't see nothing, but he hears something, right? He hear the gun go off. So we know Dre ain't the shooter, because Dre didn't get up there quick enough. And as he's running out, he ends up running into Rodriguez, punches Rodriguez, and which we all know is the Fed, punches Rodriguez and gets back in the car with his baby mama. So then he goes back into his baby. Oh, I just thought about something. He goes back into his baby mama, and they end up going to a gas station. He goes in the gas station. They give you the appearance, because he had a little flashback and thinking that he saw Tommy or whatever, because now he's spooked. Ghost dead. Well, Ghost is shot. So he's spooked, right? He don't know if it's Tommy. He don't know what's going on. So he thinks he saw Tommy, but then Tommy disappears. So then he goes to a gas station. The camera and the direction of the filming, it's got you thinking somebody finna run in there and shoot him up. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what happened, because soon as Drake comes out of the store, who's pulling up? Everything look all good in slow motion, like Dave Chappelle say. You feel me? Him walking out the store, waving to his daughter and his baby mama, holding a little toy for the baby. Oh, well, she's not really a baby. She got to be 4 years old or something. But anyway, she's, all of this is going on in slow motion. Everybody happies and giggles. All right, next thing you know, burp, burp, then you see all the police show up, which means Tate called the police. Because how is it that the police came for Dre? Because they had already let him go. Because he he made the deal with Rodriguez. So Tate had to been the one to snitch on Dre for the police to come back and get Dre and find him. Because Tate had the license plate on the car that Dre had. So Tate must have been the one to call the police, because next thing you know, you got Dre going back to jail. Then you see Dre having a sit down visitation with his baby mama, his daughter, and his mama. And even though he told his mama when they was having that conversation in the closet that I got a daughter and I kept her away from you because I don't want you to ever be around her, she ends up being around her granddaughter anyway because the baby mama didn't have nowhere else to go, nobody else to turn to, and so she called his mama. So the mama gonna tell him, I'm gonna make sure that she grows up the right way, talking about his daughter. And then everybody say their goodbyes and they turn around and they walk out. Okay. Dre goes back into the jail. He gets in the gym pop during lunchtime. Everybody sitting down eating. 2-Bit and Spank see him. And next thing you know, boom. They like, okay, let's go. We finna get him, right? Dre decides he gonna come up with a plan. So he goes to another inmate. He takes his pudding, pours the pudding on him. Of course, a fight breaks out. He gets 1 week in the hole thinking he gonna be safe. But the guard is already on Ghost's payroll, which is how the guard, one of the guards gave 2-Bit the burner, the cell burner. You feel me? So, 2-Bit like, man, come on, we finna just call the guard. Cause when 2-Bit was on the phone with Ghost had told him if you to make any arrangements to do anything in regards to executing the hit out on Dre, just talk to the guard to arrange everything. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Cause then you got 2-Bit and Spanky acting like they was trustees, cleaning up the area in the hole, and they take some lighter fluid, soak towels with lighter fluid, put them in the little the eating hole that's in the cell, and they throw it in there. Then they even poured, well, not poured, but they squirted some lighter fluid onto Dre's clothes, and Dre begging, he just begging like, man, don't do this, like everything he can say, think of or whatever. But of course 2-Bit like, man, nah, like, especially because after they found out that Dre the one that killed BG, you feel me, the big tall dude that was always, ride or die for Tommy, like it was more so for that. But he also, Dre, mind you, also told his mama that you and me, the reason why I named her Heaven, because she's named Heaven because that's a place you and I will never go to, or something like that, he says. I forget how the line go. Excuse me. But it's something along that aspect. And so, sure enough, he manifested his own death because he said he gonna go to hell along with his mama, and he ends up getting burnt up. And it's also poetic justice, just like Courtney said, or somebody has said during Power Confidential, where they said that it was poetic justice that because he burned everybody that he was connected to, it was only right and, karma for him to get burned and how he dies. And next thing you know, that happens, right? The next day, 2-Bit gets up, walks out of his cell when the cell doors open the next morning. And him and Spank earlier had already had a conversation that the only time you get out of jail early is if you snitch. And sure enough, 2-Bit had already had a hint. Because when he was talking to Tommy to tell Tommy that Dre was the one that snitched about Tommy's warehouse, excuse me, which is how they got pinched. And he tells Tommy that it was actually Dre. Tommy says, I don't know if I can't trust none of y'all because somebody pinched, oh my God, I forget dude's name. But the last other drug dealer that Tommy had, Pancho. Spanky had snitched to the Fed, to Rodriguez, and said that they needed to look into the murder of Pancho, which of course we all know Tommy did. And so because of that, it got back to Tommy that somebody had snitched, which is why Tommy told 2-Bit that. Right? And then he was like, man, I don't trust none of y'all, so I guess I'll see y'all in 20 years. So he gets off the phone. Fast forward to the end of the episode when 2-Bit gets up out of his cell room and he don't see Spank. And he asked the guard, like, hey, like, where's Spank at? And the guard like, oh, he processed out. I guess he got a better lawyer than you. And sure enough, he go back in his room. He calls Tommy and tells Tommy what's up. And then after he tells Tommy what's up, we see Spanky with Rodriguez doing the same thing that got Keisha killed, which was signing that witness protection program paper. Sure did. But guess who walked in to Rodriguez's office just as she was walking out of the conference room with Spanky? It was Angela's sister. So the question is, in next episode, they showed a preview of it. It's going to be all about Angela's sister, Yaz. That's her name, Yaz. So we going to see what happens from her perspective next episode. So, saying all that to say, y'all, we still got 5 more suspects on Who Coulda Shot Ghost. I think it's 5 more suspects. But quite honestly, I think because it seems like Courtney and the writing team is on a theme of poetic justice and karma, you know, trying to bring it back full circle, I feel like Ghost was either shot by Tyreek or Tommy. I think it was either Tyreek or Tommy. I don't feel like they would allow somebody like Tate to be the one to kill Ghost. Do you know what I mean? Because it would be a petty kill, not so much of invested, meaningful love, hate kill. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's the angle they going. But I digress. Let me go ahead and get up off here. I think I've been rambling enough. I hope you guys enjoyed this little review. I'm going to do my whole little, my 2 cents that is connected with this. Once again, y'all, and I know I was probably too excited and really didn't do a full introduction like I usually do. But y'all know who I am. I'm your favorite homegirl, your favorite host who loves to smile the most. I'm E. Reed, right here on Reality Radio. This is Binge and Rewind. This is another one of my, my baby shows that I'm doing, and I'm trying to be committed, y'all. I really, really am. So we off to a good start for the new year. I just gotta keep the momentum going. So please comment in the, leave a comment in the comment section wherever you listening to me to. If it's on YouTube and you watching me on Reality TV, or listening to me on Reality TV, or if you listening on Spotify, on Spreaker, anywhere that my show is aired. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. I'm thirsty. My throat is a little parched. I don't know if y'all can hear it. So I'm about to get up out of here. I love y'all. I'm gonna talk to you later. Bye.